everyone, and welcome to our webinar from today. We're very happy to spend this day with you, and we're very happy to have so many people from all over the world joining us today. We are so happy that we have people registered from Pakistan, India, Philippines, China, Canada, Egypt, Vietnam, and many more countries around the world. So thank you so much for your time today. We're sure that today's session will be very powerful for you. And we're very excited to have you joining us to this session as we explore how the University of Akron graduates succeed. And this is something very interesting for all of us and something that really passion us about because we always talk about programs, we always talk about universities, we always talk about what things makes unique in university. But when we talk about success after the graduation of the students and how they can start to build that dream career from when they are students, it's something that it really changed our perspective about universities. So before we begin, let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Daniela Tencia, and I'm the Business Development Manager of Uni Global. So it's my pleasure to be your host for today's session. And we are having a great panel today. So we're very pleased to welcome all of our speakers today. First, we will be joining Marty Bennett. He is the Director of International Recruitment and Engagement at the University of Akron. Marty is an award-winning international educator with more than 30 years of experience in international student recruitment and global enrollment strategy. We also will be joined by Michael Kolick. He is a Senior Associate Director of Career Services at the University of Akron. He brings extensive experience in supporting student success through internships, networking opportunities, and strong employment partnerships that will help connect students with meaningful career pathways. And we will also have joining our conversation today, Disha Jain. She is an alumni from the College of Business at the University of Akron. So today, all of day three, they will bring value perspectives and both graduate and current students, sharing insights into the academic journey and career opportunities that will shape their experience and the students that they also know. So before we begin, we will do a quick housekeeping note. So we highly encourage all of you to ask as many questions as you would like through the webinar. So we have a very special section that is the Q&A box that you will find in your webinar interface. So through that space and through that section, you can submit all of your questions at any time. Our speakers will do their best to address all of your questions as we progress through all the topics and discussions that we have prepared for you today. So now that we have covered a few housekeeping reminders, let's move into our very exciting first topic, why the University of Akron. So to kick this off, I'll hand it over to Marty to share these insights of what makes the University of Akron a great choice for these students. So Marty, welcome and good morning.
Thanks so much, Daniela. Very happy to be with you all today. This is my favorite topic, why the University of Akron, why UA. We really have developed at the University of Akron and beginning to add to it every day, more of a full international student life cycle approach to international education and your journey from initially inquiring about our university till the time you become a successful graduate like Disha, and she'll be sharing her stories a little bit later. But part of that involves making sure you feel like you're part of a community. And that is definitely a part of our philosophy at the University of Akron. We are ranked in the top 10% globally for our commitment to international students. And that's included in our 70 countries. We have international students, almost 500 currently on campus. We're also very much a career-oriented and tech-oriented campus in terms of our course offerings, very well known for our STEM programs and specialized academics, including polymer engineering and some very strong industry partnerships. And that's what we're here to talk about today, is how can we get you ready for your career after graduation? And that involves comprehensive support. And we don't just start getting you ready for your career and that first interview in your final year of studies. It can begin as early as your first week on campus. We have pre-arrival guidance, dedicated orientation for international students, visa and health system assistance, and getting ultimately you culturally and socially adapted to campus life at the University of Akron. So our goal is really to provide cost-effective, high return on investment careers and through the academic training that you have available to you through your time as an international student in the United States. That training there's two types, curricular practical training and then optional practical training, which you do after you finish your studies. And those are available to you as international students as part of the benefits that you have. And we make sure that you can maximize those as much as possible at the University of Akron. So that's enough for me, but there's plenty more surprises that you'll find out about what we do for international students at the University of Akron, particularly in this last few months and years of your time on campus. And I'll turn it over to my colleague Michael, who will take you through it. Michael.
All right. Thank you, Marty. Thank you for having me speak. I'm very excited to be here as well. I'm also very excited to talk a little bit more about career services and student employment, which is my office, and how we can assist you and how we're going to assist you in your career every step of the way. So I think there's some really unique things that we have at the University of Akron that makes us stand out, especially in the world of career services and student employment. So one of the nice things about us is that you will have a career services advisor every step of the way. So regardless of your major, the college that you're in, you will have someone that will be working with you, and they'll be working with you from major and career exploration, career development, on into our networking and career events. We're right in the middle of campus, so you can't miss us. So that's where we're located. But the nice thing about having your own career services advisor is that we're the subject matter experts that take what our employers are looking for and bring it back to you into the classroom with our faculty. And that's something that's very unique about us. All right, yeah, there we go. All right, so um, as I mentioned, we are located in the middle of campus, but we'll also have different offices throughout campus that makes it very convenient for our students. So we will have a office located in the College of Arts and Sciences, which is at one end of our campus, and then in our College of Business, the opposite end of campus, we'll have an office there as well too, dedicated for those majors and for those colleges. Our students that are in our College of Engineering and Polymer Science program, we have a separate co-op and placement office. So we work in tandem, but that is a fantastic office that will help our students gain those cooperative education experiences. So that's a really nice resource. And we'll have some other resources throughout campus that will relate to careers and just different opportunities that we can help get your foot in the door. So we're pretty much there every step of the way. And then, like I mentioned, we are located in career services, or I should say we're located in the Student Union Career Services and that is the middle of campus. So that's where you'll find us. So when we first talk about career outcomes and pathways, we understand that a lot of our students may know what they want to do, may know what major, what career they want to go into, but we're here to assist our students in choosing a major, in choosing a career. We'll have some students that will go through maybe their first year of class and decide, maybe this isn't what I want to do, or what else is out there for me. So we do administer different assessments. In fact, our prospective students can actually take our Focus 2 online assessment now. You don't have to be a UA student. In fact, you can connect with us to explore more about what Focus 2 is and what it means, which is a really nice resource because it will tell you the majors that we have here at UA and what you can then go into. So that's a wonderful resource. What can I do with this major is another nice resource that is on our website, which was just updated this week. So we're going through some new updates with our website right now. And then connecting UA majors to top jobs in Ohio. So within our state of Ohio, we produce a document called the top jobs. What are the top careers, top jobs coming out of the state of Ohio? And what we've done is we've matched our careers to those we've matched our majors to those jobs. So if you're thinking about majoring in, let's say, accounting, well, what are the top jobs that are coming from accounting? Or you're thinking about picking up your master's in management. So we'll connect those majors to careers and then we flip it and have the careers to the majors. Is a really nice, tangible document to look at. That's also available on our website. So it's something that you can look at without ever connecting with us. Then there's the career development side of our office. And I think when people think of career services, this is what they really traditionally think of. So we have in person, we have virtual appointments. As I mentioned, you will have your own career advisor every step of the way. So we'll talk about resumes, how to write a cover letter, and of course, as we enter this new world of AI, we'll talk about that too, how to incorporate AI into your job search. And we want you to be on the cutting edge of the technology that's out there. So we are very big with that. So that's that traditional sit-down appointment with your career advisor. And then there's some other things that we have as well, which is very fun. So on the side of your screen, there's Zippy. She is our mascot. And Zippy, she's trying on a jacket. So we have a couple other resources that you probably will find very helpful. We have a career closet. If you ever need to borrow a professional jacket, we have professional jackets for free. In fact, we dry clean them. We just ask that students bring them back. But this is really nice if you have an interview, even a classroom presentation, and you just need to borrow a jacket, a professional jacket. Something that's brand new this year, and you'll see Zippy, she's taking her picture, is our Iris Professional Headshot booth. You come on in, pictures are free. This is a professional picture that will, with some AI enhancements, that might touch up some things. But this is a photo that you can put on your LinkedIn account, your Handshake account, which I'll talk a little bit more here shortly, or if you just need a picture for a scholarship or an award that you're receiving, you just come into our office. And we'll do this for you. So it's a really nice resource. It's a lot of fun. But it's a nice way to take a professional picture. You'll also see us out throughout the year. We're in a lot of classrooms. We're in a lot of other workshops and classroom presentations as well. So we try to get into the classroom as much as possible. All right. One of the big things here at UA is we're really big in experiential learning. In fact, the state of Ohio is putting in some protocol too. We want every student at our university to make sure that you've gained real world experiences before you graduate. And that's what your career advisor is going to help you find. And there's a lot of different opportunities that are out here that we're going to try to help place you in. So let's talk a little bit more about experiential learning. So this is that real world experience before you graduate. And we really set that up into two different categories: work-based learning, which directly involves an employer. So this might be that traditional internship co-op. It might be a clinical, a practicum depending on your major, maybe you're a nursing major. You'll hear those words a lot. It could also be job shadowing, student teaching, apprenticeships. So these are those opportunities where you're working directly one-on-one with that employer. But there's also other types of experiential learning that can get you some wonderful experiences as well. And you'll see that with just different organizations that we have here on campus, connections in the classroom with our faculty, so that community engaged in learning, different field experiences. We have a lot of team competitions out of some of our majors that you'll see, especially within engineering, that students are working on different projects that might incorporate employers outside of the classroom, and then just different volunteer experiences as well. So that career advisor that you're working with, we're going to help you get those experiences during your time here at the University of Akron. And there are benefits of experiential learning. Just to go over these real quickly, obviously you're gaining real world experience, right? You're developing transferable skills and you're applying what you're learning out in the field into the classroom, from the classroom out in the field. And the really neat thing about that is we have always have seen students, once they get that real world experience, that experiential learning, their grades naturally improve because now you're experiencing it. It makes a little more sense. Many of our internships can be taken for course credit. Obviously, a lot of students are paid when they're out there in the field. So there's some nice opportunities there. And once you graduate with these experiences, oftentimes our students demand a higher salary just because of those experiences. The other big side of our office is our networking and career events. So we don't expect our students to have this elaborate um, networking, ability. So we want to make sure we help give you the skills to network, but we also want to make sure we bring our employers to campus for you. And that might be through career fairs, other networking opportunities that we have. We have around 15 career fairs a year, and we'll have big career fairs for all majors, and then we'll have specific career fairs based on certain majors, certain opportunities. So that's a really nice chance to meet our employers face to face. And again, I'll talk a little bit more about our job board here in a moment, but that's where you're going to see that. So those are in-person career fairs. There'll be some virtual networking opportunities as well. And then we have some other pieces to help you with your etiquette. So we just had our etiquette lunch last week, which is a lot of fun. We'll teach you how to interview over a meal. Students like going because the meal's typically free, but you're also learning how to cut your tomato so you don't squirt it in someone's eye, or where to place your napkin, where to put your fork. It's a lot of fun. And it's really good practice before you go out on interviews and have a meal with an employer. One of our stores, our nearby department stores here on campus, J.C. Penney, we shut down the doors and our students can go in and purchase professional clothing at a heavily discounted price. So you'll see more about that. That's a great opportunity. And then we have a lot of different employer panels and information sessions throughout the year. So it's a chance to listen to those employers speak, and you get to hear what they're recruiting for and what they're looking for in our students. And of course, we're always running around throughout campus, but we'll also have different career chat pop-ups that will include our employer. So maybe we'll have a really kind of an informal tabling event where our employers will come on campus and you have a chance to speak with them. So it's not as intense as a career fair. It's really laid back and pretty easy going. So we want to try to get those employers to you as much as possible. And then another side of our office that I want to take a moment to talk about is our on-campus student employment. This is a really nice opportunity for you to be able to work on campus. So jobs are available to our current students, and obviously new students as they become as you start your journey here at UA. And really, working on campus is a wonderful opportunity to meet people, to network, to understand a little bit more about the campus and where certain resources are. But you get paid, you're making money, it's very flexible. So we have students in our office that we understand you're a student. Your exams, your projects, things are going to happen. We get that. So it's very flexible if you call up and say, "Hey, I got an exam, I need some time to study, or I have something going on." We'll work with you. And pretty much every department's going to do the same thing. But as I said, you're gaining new skills. So a lot of the on-campus jobs, even if you're not, let's just say you're an engineer. You're an engineering major and you're working in our rec center, right? That's still, that manager will still write something about you. You can still use that manager as a reference. We want to see our students succeed. So it's a nice opportunity to meet new people and network and gain those references, but also become career ready. So we give our students a lot of projects that are more than just um, answering phones. You're working with people. You're working on certain projects here at UA. So you're gaining some really key relevant skills that our employers are looking for in a nice setting. And it's a very comfortable setting. So it's a wonderful opportunity to work here on campus. And so this slide talks a little bit about eligibility. So if you are to work on campus, you do need to be 18 years of age. You must be enrolled full time. Newly hired students will need to provide copies of certain identification documents that we require out of all students. Typically, our students are working around 10 to 15 hours a week. Um, you during the summers you can work up to 29 hours a week. During the school year, it's 20 hours a week that you're allowed to work. But you can work up to 29 hours a week during the summer, and our pay rates start at $11 per hour, and they go as high as $17 per hour for student employment positions. And very similar to our other opportunities, your career advisors are going to help you find these opportunities throughout the year. So this is our job board. This is what I've kept referring to here a little bit. Handshake, we use Handshake. We're a Handshake school. We've been using Handshake probably for a decade now. So this is our networking and job board for students and alumni. Our alumni can use this job board and they can actually use our services free of charge. So a lot of that's something that's unique about us as well. Where our alumni, regardless of where they're located, they can come back and use us and use our job board. So we have about 85,000 employers currently using Handshake that recruit our students. So it's not just in our region, it's across the country, across the globe. And all of our opportunities are posted on Handshake. So it's internships, co-ops, full-time, part-time jobs. And then, of course, our student employment positions are also posted on Handshake for you to apply to. And Handshake's more than just a job board. So this is a nice opportunity to do research on employers. It's a nice opportunity to connect with other students that are maybe at other universities that you can connect with. It kind of has that LinkedIn feel a bit. And it's also a nice spot to see what events are taking place, not just on campus, but virtually across the nation. So it's a really strong networking tool as well. And you'd probably be pretty good at using it if you never came in and met with us, but we like to meet with students just to go over all the benefits because there's a lot that students might not realize. So it's a really nice opportunity to connect and to apply to jobs from across the nation on Handshake. And then what else do we offer? So I kind of gave you a plethora, just a bunch of information that we have. It's important to understand here at UA, you have career advisors that are going to work with you every step of the way from figuring out, making sure what you want to major in, what you're looking to go into, student employment, internships, co-ops, all the way to full-time, and then even after you graduate. Um, and so we're always here for you. We want to make sure that you are ready. One of the big things that we also like to work with our students on are developing those skills. So not just what you're learning in the classroom, but those soft skills, those transferable skills that so many employers are looking for, teamwork, leadership, communication. We want to make sure that you're ready to go, that you have that down on your resume, that you're comfortable interviewing. So we go over mock interviews and practice interviews as well. So we'll get into that. And then, of course, we want to make sure you have that full-time position by the time you graduate. So always having that career advisor by your side every step of the way is a really nice benefit of UA.
That's amazing, Michael. Thank you so much for sharing all of that information. I completely admire the work that you do at the University of Akron. And I'm based in Latin America, and things are very different here for local universities. So it's amazing to see how the University of Akron takes care of every single step of the process. And I think that those type of things that are very small details shows to the students how the university cares about them. So I think it's completely amazing. And from my experience sharing this type of information with the agents and the students, they completely admire that the university is giving them those opportunities. So that's amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And we're very excited to share with you how the real experience of our students are actually showing that they have this type of opportunities at the university. So we're very happy to have Disha, and we have as well Camila, who are also students from the university. So Disha is from the College of Business, and Camila is a current student in the College of Engineering and Polymer Science, which is one of the most recognized faculties at the university. So we're very excited to have them here to joining us to this conversation and to share some of their experience with all of us. So we have our first question to Disha, and we would love to know, Disha, which opportunity or decision during your time at the University of Akron made the biggest difference in your career path?
Thank you. Hi, my name is Disha Jain, and like everybody said, I am from the College of Business. I studied Masters of Taxation at College of Business. So the opportunity or the decision during the time at UA that made a biggest career difference were the evening with accountants for me. So we have this evening with accountants twice a year. It's like one of the biggest event from the College of Business, and there are a lot of employers, like right from big fours to local Akron firms to local Ohio firms and other big firms which are like top 10, top 20 firms come. They have they come up with the jobs that they have currently, maybe for the internships, the summer internships, the winter internships, the full-time jobs. And when I had conversations with them, it was different than the technical knowledge. Of course, University of Akron, the College of Business and the Masters of Taxation faculties and staff were amazing with the technical knowledge. But technical knowledge is not something that would suffice, right? We also need to know how to present ourselves, how to talk, what to talk, how to build relationships, because at the end you are obviously going to work. Like, there's nothing that you cannot learn, but the main important thing that you might always have heard is networking. But how do we do that? We don't know. We've just heard, like, you have to network, but how, when, like with whom, how to start. So that, obviously, even I made mistakes for the first time, but when I hear somebody else talking to me, the way they spoke to me, the way they asked questions, that's how you build. So the more you go to these events, so this is just one event that I'm talking about, evening with accountants. But when you come here on campus, there's like there are a lot of events that comes up. Like every other week there's some event where you go. So it's just not about studying, it's about these practical things. Because when you go to the real world out here, so right now I'm working in Boston. So when I go and when I go talk to the clients, i I needed that experience there on campus, so that now I can talk freely and without any hesitation to my clients. Right now I'm talking to you all. I mean, there would like it wouldn't have been possible that I could speak to so many people at once, with such confidence. But it was possible because of University of Akron and the staff there, and of course the career services. They helped me a lot. So we had also had mock interviews during the year, throughout the year, I would say, that the real actual employees would the employers would come up, the HR team from those firms would come up and take our mock interviews and guide us on how to improve, on to answers, or yeah. And in the US, I would say, being an international student, like I'm from India. So in India, it's more of like technical, like they judge you on your technical skills, but here it's more on behavioral skills. So you have to develop those skills. So that's very important. So yeah, this is something that helped me grow, and I'm very happy that I chose University of Akron for my master's. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Disha. It's amazing to see your experience and how you've become this confident professional that we're seeing today. So, congrats on your journey. And now I would like to welcome Camila. Thank you for being with us today. And I would love to ask you how you are currently building experience for your future career and what support have you used at the University of Akron to do that?
Hi everyone, can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud
Okay,
and clear.
so I'm Camila. As Daniela mentioned before, I'm from the College of Engineering. I'm currently a chemical engineering major on my fourth year. Um, and I decided to take the co-op program, which is basically like a program that you work during a year. So you take a year off classes to do an internship during the whole year. Um, and so it's a 5-year program. Um, I have so much to say, so I'm just gonna try to keep it short, and then if there's any questions, I can also answer those. But a lot of things that Michael mentioned before, they were literally everything that I did. So my freshman year, first semester of freshman year, I started working on campus. I applied for a handshake and I started working in the international office. And as Michael mentioned, like the example of working at the rec center and being an engineer, that's pretty much what happened to me. Like I worked at the international office, which was completely unrelated to any engineering classes or like anything that was related to my major. But I feel that I developed a lot of soft skills, I would say. So I used to work at the desk, and that's where I kind of learned how to interact with people better and work in a group setting. And then when I went to get my first actual opportunity, it was also through the events promoted at the university. So, as Michael mentioned, there's like several offices related to career support, and College of Engineering has like their own. Um, and they're really, really helpful. They review my resume before my first career fair, like the first one that I attended. They also prepare me for interview for my very first interview, and the career fair was also the main point because I've attended the fair since I was a freshman. I wasn't even looking for an internship when I was a freshman, but I just wanted to like get a feeling of it. And there are so many companies at the fair and so many different like areas, I would say. So I attended the one that was for the College of Engineering, and it was very well organized. Like it's organized by color, so it's kind of cute. Like you can see which companies are hiring which type of engineers. And then I attended every single semester. And then when I was actually looking for my co-op, I think it was the end of my sophomore year or at the end of junior year. Um, I got to talk to like about 3 to 4 companies. Like actually, I talked to more companies, but I put more effort into those companies. And then I got interviews from the fair. Like I did not apply to those companies before. I just talked to them at the fair. They reached out to me after, and I got interviews. And I ended up co-oping here at a company in Akron. And I'm gonna go back there during the summer, but I feel that like if it wasn't for the fair, specifically for the fair, I wouldn't have gotten not even an interview there. So I feel that like UA provides a lot of support when it comes to finding internships and like to preparing you for this the process. And even like if you have any questions, everyone from the co-op office is always open to like ask about our experience or like how they can improve the co-op program. So I feel that that's like one of the big reasons why I kind of knew about the co-op program, so that's why I chose to come here, but I also was happy with my choice because of all the support that I've had.
That's amazing, Camila. Thank you so much for sharing us about your experience. So now I would like to ask to Michael or Marty, I would love to know what are the most common patterns you see among the students who successfully secure internships or jobs?
Marty, would you like me to start us off?
Yeah, go ahead and I'll jump in. Yeah.
All right, great. Some of the most common patterns you see are students utilizing the resources that we have here at UA to secure these internships and co-ops. So as Disha and Camilla mentioned, you're going to gain great technical skills and soft skills in the classroom, but we have resources outside of the classroom that are going to help you gain those soft skills, or you might hear people call them essential skills. So it's communication, leadership, problem solving, working with others. We want you to be able to network, to be able to introduce yourself to an employer, but also feel comfortable and confident to introduce yourself to an employer during a career fair. I think Disha mentioned our um, evening with the accounts event, where you have, I don't know, maybe 50 accounting folks that are there interviewing, or I should say, talking to you, shaking hands, asking for your resume. So making sure that you utilize all those resources outside of the classroom from the time you step foot here on campus, from the time you graduate. That those are the students that are gaining those internships, those jobs, have those positions when they graduate. And to give you another example, even before school starts, the Thursday before classes begin, we have an on-campus student employment job fair. So this is a wonderful opportunity to meet with departments here on campus that are looking to hire you even before you apply. So it's very casual, laid back. We have a DJ, we give out food. And it's just a chance just to talk to these different departments. It could be the library, it could be our performing arts center, the rec center. You know, they need people to manage the climb, the rock wall, or lifeguards, or whatever the case may be. So this is just a really nice opportunity to just to meet those folks. And this is even before classes begin. So I could keep talking and talking about it, but just taking advantage of all the resources we have outside of the classroom.
And the only thing I'd add to that, Michael hit the nail on the head there, but is an example that Camilla just shared earlier. She started early, right away in her first semester. She was looking for that on-campus job and taking advantage of that opportunity, even though it wasn't going to be directly related to her eventual academic major. She talked specifically about the soft skills that she learned in that job of working in a customer service kind of a role, dealing with people who are communicating complaints or trying to schedule appointments, dealing with that dynamic. That's an important skill to learn in life, not just for a potential job. So I think that's the opportunities that are available, as Michael said, they're available from even before classes begin. And so the more students take advantage of that and just be not afraid to ask questions and to get involved and find out, say, what's working for you, what's working for you. Talk to your students in your academic program or in your residence hall what they're doing for jobs. And the good news is you can find a job on campus as an international student, and that's important.
That's amazing. Great. So our next question, I think any of you can answer, or I don't know if maybe Disha or Camila, based on their experience, would like to share. And it's something that students often overlook when they are preparing for their careers. What do you think? Maybe Camila, Disha, or Marty or Michael, you're more than welcome to participate in this one too.
Can you please repeat the question?
Sure. It's
It's on the
something
screen.
that usually students often overlook when they are preparing for their careers.
Hmm.
I think, sorry, I don't interrupt. I'm just gonna say what I think really quick. But I just think um, something that I didn't maybe value enough at first was that how important like all of your experiences were. I think Disha mentioned before that like um, it was the process for like getting a job or like an internship was also related to like your soft skills and everything, but also your experiences. So when I had my first co-op, not my first, but like when I was interviewing for my co-ops, they knew I didn't have any technical experience and they were fine with it, but they wanted to know like how my experiences can help me in the workplace. So not only professional experiences, but also like, I don't know, a class that you took before, like a project in a class, or a time in your life that you had to like overcome an obstacle. They asked me that, and I was like, "Oh, guys, that's not a question like for an interview. What are you doing?" So I think I think it's just like valuing more all of your experiences and trying to see how they can make you a better professional.
That's great. Disha, would you like to add something based maybe on your experience?
Yeah, I agree to what Camila said, and I would also like to add that sometimes, like Camila said, you might not have the experience, but I think what matters and what interviewers look at is your ability to learn. Like you should, I mean, you can clearly say that I have not done this, but I can like try my hands on, and I would definitely like I believe in myself, and I could definitely learn and ace it. Like it's good to always learn and show them that you are willing to learn. That's something that usually people overlook, saying that I don't know this, I should not apply for this job. No, you can apply if you want to, but just be upfront and say that I don't know this, but I'm willing to learn. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's a great advice. Thank you. So, the next question before we go into the question and answers that we have from our audience, I would love to ask you if you have to give any advice or practical advice to students aiming for a strong career outcome, what it will be.
I think, like Marty and Michael said, um, start early. Like, I know it's intimidating to just put yourself out there, especially if you haven't like talked to anybody before. And I feel like, at least for me as an international student, was my first time coming to a country, well, leaving my country, and English is not my first language. So I was like, oh, guys, what if like they just don't understand me, you know? Um, but I think just putting yourself out there and talking to people, not only the resources that you have on campus, they are great, and you should definitely, like Michael said, use them. But also talk to people in your major. Like they will have a lot of experience. They might help you. I know people in my major that they got co-ops or internships at like the same company as one of our seniors had, because they talked to the seniors and the seniors helped them through the process. I was helped though, even though I didn't co-op at a specific company, but another girl that was in my major that worked there, she helped me through the process and I got a position as well. So talk to people, ask them about their experience. They like to talk about themselves, so ask them about their experiences, ask them how they got it, ask them for advice. Like just talk to people, because you do have a lot of help, but you also have to put effort into everything you want to accomplish. So I think it's a balance between knowing how to use your resources, but also talking to people and actually putting effort into it.
Hmm.
That's amazing. Great. Disha, would you like to add any other advice?
Yeah. My only advice would be to never say no to an opportunity. Like throughout the year, there would be a lot of opportunities which your director of school or maybe your teachers or faculty would bring up to you. And just because you feel intimidated or just because you think that, oh my God, I am no one, I do not have any experience, doesn't mean that you don't have to go. So there was this one, do we have some time? So I would just share a story about my experience with University of Akron's College of Business. Yeah, all right.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, so there's this one event called Tax Executive Institute. So it happens like throughout the US, and it's like the institutes where like a it's like a tax executive institute. So all the tax professionals from different sections fields come in, and so there's this event, like a 3-day event, and I was being given an opportunity by my school director, and she said like, you've been chosen. And till the last day of the registration, I was like, should I go? I don't know, like there are partners of big fours and all of those coming up. What would I do? What would I talk to them? But then I ultimately went, and it was like the best 3 days of the whole year. So never say no to an opportunity, I would say.
No,
So
Disha, thank you so much. That's amazing. I would love to know if maybe Marty or Michael, would you like to add any other advice to the students?
Yeah, that's a great question. If I had to give
Michael froze there
constantly
for a minute.
changing as much as it is, things will look different 4 or 5 years from now. So being able to communicate to employers that you're flexible, you're adaptable, you're willing to learn and grow, that makes you a strong candidate. And that's something being able to use the resources here at Akron. We want to make sure you're able to communicate that to our employers. So that's a really good point that she brought up.
That's
The only
amazing. And for you, Marty?
Yeah, I think the only thing I'd add to that is really what Michael mentioned earlier is the opportunities for internships. Obviously, Camilla is on our co-op program, which is a form of internship that our engineering students do in their last couple of years of their degree program. Nisha had opportunities to do internships as well. That's something that nowadays employers are expecting students when they graduate to be job ready. And that's exactly what internships and co-ops prepare our students for. So Michael mentioned at the beginning, how important these experiential learning opportunities are for students before they graduate. And that there's a practical reason for that. And that's because what employers want to see students who already can handle the work as soon as they graduate. So there's this little on the job. There's more on the job training than actually having to stop everything and begin from the start on and making sure a student knows as a graduate what they need to know as a first employee.
That's fantastic. That's great. So I'm very happy with all the information that we have shared today. And I love to see that we have so many questions in our Q&A section. And thank you so much to Marty and Disha who have been typing some answers to our students. But I would like to bring this question, and I think Marty will be great if you can explain to all the people who is connected to the webinar, because we have a very interesting question about asking what is the maximum number of months that a student can do their CPT and how many years of OPT can they get if they are a STEM student. So I would love if you can explain a bit if maybe someone is not too familiarized with the CPT and OPT and all of what that type of opportunity actually means for them. So I would love
Sure.
to, if you can share that based on your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and CPT and OPT are, as I mentioned earlier, these are part of the benefits of being an international student, an F1 international student in the United States. Curricular practical training means it's part of your academic program that an internship is available in your academic degree experience for your whatever subject you're doing, and that CPT technically there is no limit on the amount of time that you can do CPT. There's limits in terms of hours per week you can work while school is in session. That's 20 hours per week. Like if you're taking a full-time class load, you can't work more than 20 hours a week, whether on campus before you are eligible for CPT or while you're on CPT. CPT means it's an off-campus job typically in your field of study that is required for part of your academic program. So technically, you can do as much CPT as, frankly, your department allows you to do. The challenge is if you want to take advantage of OPT, which is optional practical training after completion of studies, you can't do more than 364 days of CPT. So there is a limit there. So maximum, like say, for example, you are working 20 hours a week for an academic semester. That's typically 4 months. That's part-time for 4 months, or the equivalent of however many days, 2 months worth of days, full-time work of days. So you have to be particularly careful. And that's actually what Camilla's program is, the co-op in engineering. It gets them very close to that 365 days, 4-day threshold. So she can't work more than 364 days of full-time work in her co-op years if she wants to be able to take advantage of the STEM OPT experience, which is up to 3 years. That her degree, chemical engineering, all of our College of Engineering and Polymer Science degrees are STEM. So that means they can work for 3 years full-time in their field of study. That is only available after you finish your studies. And that there's an initial year that everybody's eligible for OPT. And then if the company that's working for you, if it's working out and wants to keep you for up to an extra 2 years, there's an extension, an OPT extension that the International Center at UA helps you apply for once you have all the employer details sorted. So it's a little bit more complicated, but STEM OPT is up to 3 years. And people think it's just the engineering and science, natural science field, computer science, that kind of thing. But it also includes a lot of our business programs. In fact, 4 of our graduate degrees, postgraduate degrees in business are also STEM eligible, including the one that Disha's on. So she has potentially 3 years of OPT available to her because she went into a STEM master's program.
That's great. Thank you, Marty. So, Disha, the next question I would like to share, it's in our Q&A section, and it's from someone who's asking us if internships and co-op opportunities integrated into the IT and engineering programs, and what percentage of students successfully secure them? Which major companies regularly recruit IT and engineering students from Akron? So you marked that you would like to answer this one. So if you have any insights about that, you are more than welcome to share.
Oh, I'm sorry. I might have marked it accidentally because I am not from the IT and engineering section. Really sorry about
I
that.
thought like, wow, Disha knows a lot about many other faculties, so
I
it's
don't.
okay, no worries. No worries. Michael, maybe you have any idea about IT and engineering programs which type of companies usually recruits for UA and how these internships and co-op opportunities are integrated?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So if we start in our own backyard here in Northeast Ohio, some of the large companies that you've probably have heard of, companies like Goodyear, companies like Smuckers, Progressive, Sherwin-Williams. So they hire a lot of our IT majors. They hire a lot of our engineering majors, business majors as well too. So they're constantly coming here on campus. They're at our career events. They're posting those jobs in Handshake, and they're in the classrooms as well. So you'll see those companies out of Northeast Ohio, but keep in mind we work with companies all across the US. So we'll have those IT companies out west that are looking to hire our UA students, and we'll have those virtual events within Handshake where you might not be able to fly out to California or fly down to Georgia or Florida, but you can meet with these companies virtually for those networking events within our job board. So it allows you to connect. And we'll have students that will do a co-op not in Ohio. They might do it in New York. They might do it in another location. So we help our students find those opportunities outside of our region, but we have a lot of big employers within our region that will be coming to our event. So, for example, I'll just use we're talking about engineering and IT. We'll have two huge career fairs a year, one in the fall, one in the spring, and we have close to 200 employers that will attend those fairs, 200 employers
Wow.
at each fair. And those are the ones that you're speaking to face to face. So it's great opportunities.
That's amazing. Great. So we have another very interesting question, and I don't know, Camila, if you would like to answer this one. Someone is asking us, how do you balance internships with classes? And if it's not overwhelming?
I can try, but also the co-op program. So, for the co-op program, which is a type of internship, we take a year off of school. So when you're doing your co-op as an engineer, I'm not sure if that's an option for like all majors, but as an engineering major, you do have the option to take the co-op program. And then when you take the co-op program, you basically stop your classes and you're only co-oping, or you're only taking your internship. So you're for the co-op program again, not sure how everything else works. You do work 40 hours per week. So you're basically working full time as an intern. Um, and you're not taking any classes. So there's not much of a balance in that point. But I feel that a lot of my friends are taking part-time internships right now. And when you do a part-time, most of the companies, at least from what I've heard from their experiences, they are pretty understanding about the fact that you are still in school. So you have to finish your degree. So they work your schedule around your classes. And and then I feel that organizing your schedule might be the key because you will have assignments. Your professors will still give you as many assignments as they would before. So I feel that organizing everything might be the key to not feel overwhelmed. Um, and I think that applies to everything because you do have a lot of opportunities on campus for on-campus jobs and on-campus like student organizations. And again, you have to balance. So you have to kind of organize and put some time into everything, but not put like all the time into one thing. So I feel that just organizing.
That's great. Thank you, Camila. Our next question I love because it gives us the opportunity to talk about any other careers that are in demand right now in the United States, but also in Ohio. So, Michael, we have a question very interesting that says, what programs in UA now have strong demand in job market?
Sure. So when we're looking at our strong demand, first we'll have majors, and we would never deter a student from picking a major that may not traditionally be in demand. So if we had a student that was a philosophy major, we're going to work with that student, and there's a lot of opportunities that are out there because we're giving them those soft skills, those essential skills that they'll be able to take with them when they go out into the interview, as well as internships, co-ops, building that up. If we're looking at directly what's probably in demand and what our folks within the state, within the US are looking for, we're looking at our IT, our engineering. majors. Disha's an accounting. I think she said getting her master's in accounting, or that's what she received. So we'll typically see that. We also have a new program that will be coming out of our College of Business that's AI centric and focused on AI, focused on the new technologies that are constantly changing, being able to incorporate those into the working environment, and how is that going to look, right? Um, electronics engineering technology we tend to see. Of course, we're looking at robotics and whatnot with that. So that's something that's very large. But again, even if you didn't take that in-demand major, and keep in mind our top jobs in Ohio, you can actually find that on our website. So if you go to the University of Akron's website, you'll see that document there. What are the top jobs? What are the majors that can directly lead me to those top jobs? Still, we want our students to have those soft skills that you get out of the classroom traditionally, which will help you get a leg up. So we'll see students all the time that aren't technically in those in-demand fields, but they gain those internships and co-ops by working with their career advisor that will lead to those full-time jobs upon graduation. But if we're specifically looking at in-demand and we're looking at that, you're going to see IT, engineering, and a lot of our business.
Amazing. So I would also love to know, based from another question that we have in the chat, it's when students apply, what kind of profile usually is sent out? What do you think?
Are we asking what when students apply, what type of profile stands out for a job application?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. That's a really good question. Um, and this is kind of a bit of a loaded question because there's some things that we're looking at in the ATS system. So a lot of employers will have something called applicant tracking systems. Those have been around a long time. They're starting to incorporate AI now. And there's certain skill sets that they're pulling out. So we're going to help you write a resume towards those applicant tracking systems. So your resume goes to the front of the pack. So they're looking at what you're learning in the classroom, right? What are those technical skills in the classroom? How are you identifying those? And there's certain things based on how you write them that will help pull you out. Now, when we're looking at soft skills, we interview our employers. We get data for employers every year. The big soft skills that they're looking for are leadership, communication, problem solving, and being able to work in teams, so teamwork. A lot of our international students can speak multiple languages. That's huge. That's a huge advantage for our students. So we want to make sure you get that on your resume. You're able to speak to that. And it's those unique experiences as well. And our international students bring those experiences out. And it's our job to make sure that you're writing that strong resume and you're able to communicate that in an actual interview. So we're going to work with them. There's some trends that we're seeing in those ATS systems that we want to make sure that we educate our students on. So that's kind of a quick overview of what our folks are looking for.
That's great. Thank you so much, Michael. So I would love to share this question with Camila because we have a very interesting question asking, is campus life okay for students who want friends? I'm shy mostly. So what do you think?
Hi. I definitely think it is okay. So as I mentioned, we do have a lot of like organizations on campus, and I feel that when I was a freshman, so like I have first come here, I tried to join as many as I could and as many as it made sense to me. So they're really diverse. So they can be related to your major. So there's so many organizations in engineering, and I know there's so many organizations in other majors as well. They could be related to maybe your country, so or the fact of like being an international student. So like there's the international student organization, there's um, uh, French speaking organizations. So there are so many organizations that you can join. When I first started, I tried to join as many as possible, and it's a great way to make friends and like start talking to people and working on that. They do promote a lot of events that are social for the organizations that are related to your major. There might be some professional events. For example, they might have some guest speakers that come and like share their experience. They might have some previous students that graduated from UA, but they come back to share their experiences as well. But they also do promote, as I mentioned, a lot of like social events. And then after that, as I mentioned, I joined like all of them freshman year, and that might be a little overwhelming. So you will choose the ones that you identify with the most. And I feel that you slowly start talking to people in your classes as well. So at some point, I started having all the same people in my classes. So I kind of started talking to them about classes, and then we decided to like, oh, let's start hanging out of class. So I feel that there is a lot of space for you to try to make connections, but I would definitely start with student organizations because some of them they are created for that like their only goal is to have a social um integration setting, I would say. I think you're muted. I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry. So thank you so much, Camila, for sharing this with us and for all your participation through this webinar and for all of your questions. We're very happy for all the information we share, and we cover a lot of great questions today. So thank you so much for all of your participation. And a special thank you as well to our fantastic speakers, Marty, Michael, Disha, Camila. Thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your insights and experience. I would love to know if you have any final words to our audience today or for anyone who's maybe watching this recording later.
Please make sure if you're thinking about the University of Akron, you get a chance to speak with current students like Camila, like recent graduates like Disha, so they can share their experiences about what it's really like to be a student here. Because as much as Michael and I love UA and appreciate and know a lot about our campus, it's our students who are living the experience that you want to have as a prospective student that you need to hear from. And so I'm very grateful any chance you have to chat with them directly.
And I would just add, we always welcome questions. So you're more than, we're more than happy if you send us an email, you call us. We're happy to answer any questions that you have. We work with prospective students. So definitely connect with us connect with me at any time, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you so much, Michael, and thank you so much, Camila, as well. So this session has been recorded and we will be sending to you through the link very soon so you can revisit or share it with any of your colleagues. Thank you so much as well to all of our agents who joined us today. And before we wrap up, be sure to stay connected by following InUni's social media pages for the latest updates, student stories, and opportunities. And thank you again for joining us. Goodbye, and we hope to see you in our next webinar. Have a great day.